Self-efficacy and locus of control in disabled individuals. Self-efficacy is a concept that can determine how a person approaches life and all of the aspects of life, which can include goal setting, trying new things, self-confidence, one's belief in their ability to do something, and overall quality of life. Research has found that participating in a sport, whatever the competition level, causes a more positive mood and a greater self-perception of health and well-being. Those who engaged in heavy-intensity activity within the community had lower pain and fatigue, and higher levels of self-efficacy, whereas high amounts of mild-intensity activity led to less depression. In particular, positive affect supports the cultivation of positive emotion that can contribute to developing resilience towards stress. What was your initial reaction to your disability or limitation?
My parents were nervous about me having a disability, but the doctors connected my family to another family that had a child with spina bifida the day I was born.
What inspired you to participate in sports?
I have 5 siblings and they all played sports, and sports have also made me a stronger and more independent person.
Data has indicated a relationship between support and enhancing self-efficacy. What is your motivation for continuing to pursue your sport?
My motivation to continue wheelchair basketball is that I play on the Whitewater wheelchair basketball team. We have won 2 national championships in the last 3 years.
Motivation causes individuals to act. Research has found that intrinsic motivation was a powerful factor for explaining variance in physical activity. The self-determination theory shows strong support for these findings, as maintenance of behaviors over time requires that patients are autonomously motivated for a behavior. Along with autonomy, intrinsic motivation requires that a person experience confidence and competence to change. This behavior, as seen with Luke, are integrated. That is, they satisfy psychological needs such as a sense of independence. Not only can physical activity increase confidence and self-efficacy, but can facilitate recovery of executive functions in physically disabled patients.
It's not the disability that defines you, it's how you deal with the challenges the disability presents you with. James Abbott.
What are your primary sports?
My primary sports, so I do triathlon, so I swim, I bike, and I run.
What was your initial reaction to disability?
I never thought it was going to be me. You always think that something's going to happen to somebody else. So, I was 24 years old and thought I would have both my legs forever, but it was, I was thankful for my life because in the military too many had given the ultimate sacrifice, but at the same time, just wondering what my life was going to be like with one leg. Would I be independent? Would I walk? Would I run? And just trying to figure it out.
What limitations did you initially experience?
Initially, it was more just, I went through a lot of time in the hospital just waiting. My body, I had a lot of surgeries, a lot of blood infections and blood transfusions, and just kind of sitting there waiting was the biggest obstacle, was just trying to get through that time. And then the limitations of, I had to rebuild the strength that I lost after being in the hospital bed for 3 months and figure out how to, work with a prosthetic leg, how to walk. So just the limitations of trying to learn how to live every day.
Individuals with higher self-efficacy participate more readily, work harder, persist longer when difficulties are encountered, and achieve at a higher level compared to individuals with low self-efficacy.
What was your motivation to continue participation?
Again, wanting to reach that highest level, wanting to make the Paralympic team, wanting to prove to myself that I could, and prove to others that losing a leg wasn't going to stop me from doing anything I wanted to do.
What barriers did you experience to exercise and physical activity, and how did you overcome them?
I think I would say just gaining the strength back I had lost, and obviously the new challenge with a prosthetic and trying to make the prosthetic fit the best it can and trying to have it comfortable while you do your athletic activity. So triathlon now, I wear a prosthetic when I bike and when I run, so just staying on top of it, just like any other athlete, the body gets sore, gets tired, so just learning to, figuring out what helps, what barriers that you have, just kind of overcoming them.
How has your self-efficacy changed through your experience with activity?
It's huge. I mean, I proudly live a life of sport. I find that with sport and with activities, I'm able to do more in my everyday life. It's given me confidence. It's given me self-worth. I mean, there's nothing that sports doesn't do. It's all positive. It's all a positive change.
Would you recommend physical activity in sports? Why?
Yes, I would recommend physical activity in sports to anybody, disabled or able-bodied, and just you feel physically fit, you get confident, you hard work, it just kind of everything comes together to make your life just that much better.
¿Cómo te afectó perder tu pie?
Me afectó mucho.
Ok, ¿en qué manera?
Pues en primer lugar, pues no pude caminar por mucho tiempo.
Por mucho tiempo.
Some of the psychological states that decrease self-efficacy and ultimately quality of life are pain, fatigue, anxiety, and neurological impairment or limitation. Physical activity can also help people with disabilities to feel better about themselves emotionally or psychologically, and it encourages their social lives and it makes them a part of their own community.
It is important to remember that oftentimes we hear and see extreme cases of the feats those with disabilities can accomplish. However, any individual with a disability can derive a multitude of physiological and psychosocial benefits from engaging in sport and physical activity.